like, hold on. Boy, you gotta like to shine, yeah. Get your flame on. We've been under a bush list for 40 go long. For all those that bet against me, middle finger, you was dead wrong. This is the Hell King on. Manifest your journey and shine on. Champions on. Time to build these institutes, to loot the fruit and soup, to scoop, the scoop, the smith to rule. Talking about these leeches, fighting the bitches. Other nation neglect the golden rule. Black of the berry, sweeter the juice. If you nourish the roots, a good harvest to you. Make sure you prune that dead weight so the next shield it'll come back to you times two. Remember a siege plant dog, this journey starts only when it gets to light. Dodging the shade of the other trees are being trampled just so we can touch the skies. If you see one standing alone, weather the storm and everyone a man's demise. So the next time you want to be successful, think it is when you want your piece of the pie. Be a master with that yo shit. Compound and that's a toe shit. Pedal it to that metal till you a master just like Roshi. I stack it and roll, pack it up, bust it up with my people. Dig it, I reinvest, saving off dividends in small percentages just because I down for so long. I'ma be like, hold on. Boy, you gotta like to shine, yeah. Get your flame on. Been under pushing for all those that bet against me, middle finger, you was still wrong. This is Island and Hell King on. Manifest your journey and shine on. Champions on. Stumbling, finding my way, running. Steady, I'm on pace, you've been. I can throw in shade, I've been trying to stay out the way just to get my piece of the cake, but you steady wanna hate, pray the Lord that made my table, put my blessings up in your face. Inconsistent cold, here's a plague, have a taste, there's a drink, keeping high, cold, steady in your face, cause it down for so long. I'ma be like, hold on, boy, you gotta like to shine, yeah. Get your flame on. You've been under a pushing this 40 go long. For all those that bet against me, middle finger, you will stay wrong. This is Starlight and Hell King Kong. Manifest your journey and shine on. Champion song.
All right. Clap it up, 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 clap it up. All right. It's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. You understand? It is Monday, the history class, where we use our external references to back up internal services. You know what I'm saying? Using secular examples for divine clarification. All right, so we're just gonna jump right back into it. All right, so if you're on YouTube, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. If you're on Facebook, why don't you go ahead and share the class? All right, so we are in a I mean, at this point, how many parts is this? This is like almost 10 parts. You know what I'm saying? This is almost, I mean, this might be part 11. All right, so we're doing a Genesis continuation. All right, so where we are in the story, all right, so we've gone through creation. We've gone through Adam and Eve being created. We've gone through the temptation of Eve in the garden, right? And then Adam and Eve being kicked out of the garden, and why. We've gone through Cain killing Abel, all right, and why. You understand? Now we're at the lineage of Noah, you know what I'm saying, which is the lineage of Adam. And then we also have the lineage of Cain, who was tied to the serpent, the beast, right? So we're at the point to where the sons of God, who are the sons of Adam, right? have tied themselves to the daughter of man, right? In this case, it was talking about the Nephilim, right? Which is a Hebrew word in the Yiddish. It's Nephilim, right? It does not mean giants. It actually means the fallen. So who fell in this story? Cain, right? The reason why Cain fell is because he killed Abel. All right. So when Cain killed Abel, he was removed from the presence of God, right? So because of that, so now we have two different separations, right? So we have the separation of the beast child, right, from Eve and Adam, right? Because with the situation with the fruit in the garden, like the Lord was like, I'm gonna create enmity between your seed and her seed, right? Okay. And then we have Cain, who was a seed of Adam, right? He broke a commandment by killing his brothers, the first murder ever in history. You know what I'm saying? Monty, shit, if you want a smaller one, we got a smaller one right here. Yeah. Here you go. It's cool. So that way you don't gotta have that epic Bible. That thing owes Methuselah. You feel me? So at this time we have three seeds that are upon the face of the earth. We have the seed of the beast, right, which is the serpent, right? We have the seed of Adam, right, which was the first enmity, the first separation, all right? And then we have now the seed of Cain, right? So going into chapter 6, you had the breaking down the seed of Cain, you had the breaking down of the seed of Adam, all right? Going into chapter 6, all right? So we know in both lineages, right, there's an Enoch, right? There's an Enoch in the seed of Cain, there's an Enoch in the seed of Adam, right? There is a Methuselah in the line of Cain, there's a Methuselah in the line of Adam, right? Okay, and then there's a Lamech, all right, who went above and beyond his great grandfather Cain and committed two murders, right, on the Cain side. And then there's Lamech on Adam's side, who is the father of Noah, right, who taught Noah to be righteous in everything, right? Noah was perfect in all of his ways. What does it mean to be perfect? To keep the law, statutes, and commandments. How do we know this, right? Because Cain and Abel, right? Abel, he brought his first fruits, right? And the reason why Cain's sacrifice wasn't accepted was because he just gave the Lord whatever, right? So how can this happen when the Levitical priesthood hasn't happened yet? You understand? So this is how we know that Adam already had the law, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? We know this further because the Lord told Noah to gather clean beasts. And he told him of the clean beasts to gather more than the unclean so he could have food to eat during this onslaught of rain upon the face of the earth. Okay? All right. So we're gonna pick up where we left off in the scripture. Where we at, Ryan? Chapter 6, verse 16. All right. Okay. Let me pull it up on the screen. All right. Let me share the screen for them. Go ahead and share. Boom, boom. All right. You said 6 and 16. All right. Go ahead.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
A window shalt thou make into the ark, and in a cubit shalt thou finish it above.
Mm-hmm.
And the door of the ark shall thou set in the door, set the side thereof. With lower, second, and third story shalt thou make it.
Mm-hmm.
I, even I, do bring a flood of water upon the earth.
He's going to do what?
Bring a flood of water upon the earth.
Mm-hmm.
To destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life.
Okay, so why is the Lord bringing an end to all flesh upon the face of the earth? Based off of what we gone over previously, what's going on? Why is the Lord bringing an end to all flesh of life upon the face of the earth? You said what?
Wickedness.
What type of wickedness? It's a specific type of wickedness that has been taking place. What was the first ever thing that happened upon the face of the earth? No, not murder. The next thing. The sons of God did what?
They saw the daughters of men were fed.
And they did what?
They
got down with them. You understand? So right now, the sin that broke up, you understand, that had the earth destroyed, and this should show you where we are now. The sin that got the earth destroyed was interracial marriage. You understand? Adam taught his sons to follow the Lord. Cain didn't want to follow the Lord. Abel did. So Cain didn't like being shown up, so he killed Abel, right? The Lord, because, Adam probably wasn't going to have the heart to kick his son out. So the Lord did it for him, removed him from the presence. You feel me? So when Cain he started producing his line, the Lord he opened up Eve's womb and gave them Seth, right? Seth took the place of Abel. And it said in the scriptures, when Seth was born into earth, men started to call upon the name of the Lord again, right? Okay, so when these things take place, right, you have the first generation that's stronger, right? So we can think about our great grandfathers. You know what I'm saying? These men could do everything. They could till earth, they could build homes. You understand? If the vehicle was broken down, they could fix the vehicle. You know, because they didn't have anything. They had to depend upon each other in real community. So a man had to be a master of all. You understand what I'm saying? And then like now, this generation, they can barely fix a flat or change a tire. You know what I'm saying? As the generations go on, they get weaker, right? Because they're handed everything, right? And as a father, you want to give your son the best, right? You don't want your son to struggle like you struggle. But what we forget is that it was a struggle that made us who we are. You understand? I always use a secular example. There is no growth without pain. Like when you lifting weights, you understand? Like you don't gain muscle mass without soreness. It's impossible. You understand? It's the same thing with spiritual growth. You do not grow without pain. You understand? And robbing the next generation of that pain of growth, you're actually crippling them, right? And if you continue to cripple them, they end up forgetting the struggle, right? Like we can't identify with the struggle of the Jim Crow era. You understand? We can't even fathom the struggle of the civil rights era because we're so far removed. You understand? And like kids today, I'll bring it to a secular example. Kids today can't even fathom the effect that the death of a Tupac or a Biggie had on our generation. You see what I'm saying? So as each generation progresses, they progressively get weaker because they don't have to struggle as much because they're entitled, right? So when the sons of God went into the daughters of men, they were like, well, shoot, they fine. It's no difference from a black man saying a white woman fine, or this Ethiopian woman fine, this African woman fine, this French or this Russian woman fine. You know what I'm saying? All the nations are tying in together, right? But the scripture says when you take someone from another nation, they will make you forget your culture. That's the reason why the kingdom of heaven fell, because of Solomon. Solomon had 400 wives and 300 concubines, and he took a wife from every nation upon the face of the earth, right? So much so, he built temples and erected temples for every single one of his wives' God from their culture. You understand? And he began to go to these temples and he forsook his God. Right? So instead of the sons of God, men within their own people, I mean, I don't know. I don't understand. I mean, you got Jamaicans, you got Haitians, you got Puerto Ricans, you got Dominicans, you got Hondurans, you got Mexicans, you got Native Americans. You know what I'm saying? You got El Salvadorians, Guatemalans. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got, you dang on there got 51 flavors. But you want to lay with a nation that is lesser than yourself. And you got to understand, every nation upon the face of the earth has their own spiritual system, right? This is where the basis of religion comes from. All right. So if you're a Buddhist, right, you follow the spiritual system of Asia Major, right? Okay. If you're a Hinduist, you follow the religious practice of the spiritual system of Asia Minor. If you're a Muslim, you follow the spiritual system of the Arab Peninsula, the Arabian Peninsula, right? If you follow Ifa, Voodoo, you understand, Santeria, you follow the spiritual practice, the spiritual system of West, Central, and South Africa. You understand what I'm saying? This is all religion is, and Christianity is the religious practice of two systems. It's a system of the Israelites and a system of paganism. Because, like, you have one system that tells you to celebrate Easter and Christmas, and then you have in the Bible where it explicitly tells you not to celebrate Christmas and Easter. Right? So Constantine had to figure out how to unite his kingdom. Right? You have pagans on one side, but then on the other side, you have people that believe in Christ. He's like, so we'll mix all of the pagan holidays and the high holy days, and we'll mix them together in a mashup. Right? But if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. And if you tie yourselves to these nations and you don't know your history and the tricks that were used upon your people in antiquity, you're doomed to repeat them. The first trick is interracial marriages. One thing, if you don't know right now, the seed of the so-called Caucasian, Edomite, or as we like to say in the truth, the devil, his seed is declining, right? He's not able to reproduce right now, right? So what is he doing? He's trying to tie himself to us. That's why you've seen all these commercials with mixed race couples, right? Or to the Arab or to the Asian. You understand? Because he's trying to survive, because he knows within 30 years' time, this nation, if gone unchecked, that's what the Roe versus Wade reversal was about. You understand? Because more than anybody, even though we lead the nation, even though we're a smaller percentage in abortions, but 60% of theirs abort. You understand? So they're trying to stop their people from aborting their race so they can increase their numbers, because their birth rates is like, if I'm not mistaken, it's 25% lower than their death rate. That's heavy. And it's increasing year by year. In 30 years, it'll be equal. Their birth rate will be 50% lower than their death rate. So you got more people dying than them being birthed. So what does that mean? Mexicans and niggas and Native Americans, they're going to outbreed them. And the nation is going to look more like us than them. You see what I'm saying? So what the Lord is doing, he's clearing house, just like he did then, right? But we can't be naive in thinking, okay, she a good woman. That's not a good woman, because she has a spirit of her father, right? So right here in the time of Noah, there were two spirits on the face of earth. There was a spirit of a liar and a spirit of a murderer. The serpent was a liar. Cain was a murderer. When Cain left his father's house, he went to the town of Nod and he tied himself to the line of liars. So the men upon the face of the earth that the sons of God tied them to was a line of liars and murderers. And the Lord saw that there was violence and corruption on the face of the earth because the imagination of man's heart was evil. This is why this is happening, right? Keep reading.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
And behold, I, even I, do bring a flood of waters upon the earth
Mm-hmm.
to destroy all flesh.
To do what?
To destroy all flesh.
All right. So give me Luke 16 and 22. All right. So the question you have to ask yourself, right, is how will you die? Right? So the Lord, just like the time of Noah, he's bringing an end to all flesh upon the face of the earth. So he did in the time of Noah. Now he's going to do it in the time of the return of Christ. So the question that you have to ask yourself is, how do you plan to die? When you got to go ahead and read it.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 16, verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom.
Mm-hmm.
The rich man also died and was buried.
All right. So now we have two different types of people that are going to die. Same thing today, same thing in the time of Noah, right? Same thing in any class of society. You have the wealthy, right? Then you have the poor, right? It doesn't matter if you're middle class, you're still poor, right? Because you're a couple of mismanagements financially away from being out on the street just like everybody else. Doesn't matter if you have 100,000 in the bank account or $1 million in the bank account. Keep it real, $1 million ain't really a lot of money. It's not. You understand what I'm saying? Like, according to inflation right now, $1 million is equivalent to having 750,000. You can blow 750,000 on a house and a car and paying a couple of bills. Easy. You understand what I'm saying? It is a cushion, but it's not a safety net. You understand? So keep reading.
This is the book of Luke 16, verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
And in hell he lift up his eyes.
All right. So the person that's lifting up his eyes, we talking about the rich man. The rich man is in hell. Okay. Right. So you have the poor man and you have the rich man. The rich man, both of them died. Right. So there's a great equalizer. Right. So it don't matter if you poor or rich, everybody's going to die. But it's not about how you lived. It's about how you died. Right. What type of man were you when you died? Right. Which is based off of the type of man that you are when you live. See, everybody talks about your birthday. You didn't do anything to be born. You know what I'm saying? Whether your dad had a mistake and slipped up, you know what I'm saying, condom broke, you ain't had no control in that. You know what I'm saying? Your dad spilled seed in your mama, you know what I'm saying? You ain't had no control in that. But what you do have control over is how you live once you get to the point and age of accountability. This is what we're talking about right now, right? And at the end of the day, everyone meets their demise. Everyone is going to die, right? So do you want to be that person that dies in a room by themselves with no loved ones, right? Or if you want to be a person that's loved by everyone, you know what I'm saying? Circled around by people that you so-called think that you love. But the interesting thing is one is righteous and one is wicked. 9 times out of 10, well, we'll get to it. Go ahead.
Being in torments, and seeth Abraham afar and Lazarus in his bosom.
You understand? So he's in torment, right? Day and night. You understand? Just like the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are today, we are in torment. We are in poverty day and night. You understand? The things that we have to go through to feed our family, to keep the lights on, right? hell, the inflation of gas right now. Like it's like I think they got water in the gas. You know what I'm saying? I talked to one of my partners the other day to work in the oil and gas industry. He said they increased the ethanol percent, so it burns off even more. Like you get maybe like 25% actual 25% as you would traditionally be getting. Understand what I'm saying? So we are impoverished. We's already in poverty, but somehow, some way, Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans will make a way, right? So you have the poor man, Lazarus. He's now in Abraham's bosom. That's heaven. And you got the rich man. He's in hell, right? Keep reading.
And he cried and said, Father Abraham,
Mm-hmm.
have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in the waters.
You understand? You know what I'm saying? Send Lazarus to give me a stimulus check, man. You know what I'm saying? Send Lazarus to give me a PP loan, man. I'm out here struggling. You understand? Send him to give me some aid. I'm not used to being on WIC. I'm not used to being on welfare, Section 8, food stamps, man. Like, brother, like, send Lazarus to get some aid. Don't that sound like Black, Hispanics, Native Americans now? See, this is a role reversal. Because that's what Lazarus was asking for when the rich man was in rulership. You understand? But dogs was licking the sores of Lazarus. You understand what I'm saying? You feel me? Keep reading.
And cool my tongue, for I am tormented in the flames. But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime received thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things.
You know what I'm saying? So, Pete, so Lazarus is in heaven, right? What did he say Lazarus received in his lifetime?
Evil things.
Evil things. So what's evil things, right? Going to bed with having to drink water so you can have a full stomach versus having substance and nutrition, or the hell, not having food at all. Your lights getting cut off a couple times. Car getting repossessed. A lost job. Hell, even me might have been homeless. You understand what I'm saying? Or, you know, being unemployed several times. I mean, struggling to raise a child to put him through college. You understand what I'm saying? But what did it say about the rich man? What did it say about the rich man?
He received good things.
He received what?
Good things.
He got the 401k. You know what I'm saying? He got the corner office. He done made partner. You understand? He getting keys to the city. You know what I'm saying? He out there in River Oaks. You feel me? He received good things. He received the good life. You know what I'm saying? Scripture says, broad is the path to destruction. Narrow is the way to life. It said it is very hard for a rich man to inherit the kingdom of heaven. You know what I'm saying? It's like a camel walking through the eye of a needle. Now, that's not a physical needle. It's the gates of a city, right? That's what they call the eye of a needle. Like, they merchants would try and come into the city, and they would carry their cargo on camels. And in that tight space that was meant for a man, they had to literally shove their camel through the hole that was called the eye of a needle. And it was very tight space. It was meant for a man. So imagine pushing a camel through the space that was meant for a man. That's how hard it is for a rich man to get to the kingdom of heaven, because you don't need the Lord to pay your light bill. You understand? You don't need the Lord to help you put gas in your car. You don't need the Lord to help you put food on the table for your family. You understand what I'm saying? So you have your reward. You're in your kingdom. You understand? Scripture says in the book of Psalms, it says, a fool says in his heart that there is no God. You feel me? So this is where we are. This is who the rich man was when he was living. And now you know the evil that Lazarus had to endure when he was living. So that means that, like the scripture says, that gain is not godliness. Just because you are prosperous, that does not mean that the Lord is with you. You understand? Because whom the Lord loves, he will test you. The scripture says that any man that is ready to serve the Lord to prepare his soul for temptation. Because Satan is not going to mess with you when things are good. You understand? And when I say things are good, that means when he has you in his hand. You out here smoking weed, you know what I'm saying? You laying with vicarious women that ain't taking care of them because they're your wives. When you lay with a woman, that's your wife. You know what I'm saying? Don't matter if you put a ring on her finger. You know what I'm saying? You break the seal, you break it, you bought it. That's yours. Forever. I mean, God forbid unless you lay with another man, but that's a curse. Because you're not a righteous man. You understand what I'm saying? So, which are you? Are you Lazarus? Or are you the rich man? Keep reading.
But now he is comforted,
Mm-hmm.
and thou art tormented. And besides all this,
So in both their lives, the rich man was comforted during life. Lazarus was tormented. Now we in the next life, Lazarus is comforted and the rich man is tormented. Why is that? Something that you got to ask yourself. Because here in this life, they'll have you believe that gain is godliness. The Lord is with that brother. That brother got a 5-bedroom house, 4-bath, 3-car garage. You know what I'm saying? Brother got so many cars, he got to have cars in the driveway when the garage is full. The Lord is with that brother. That's what they would have you believe. But that's the furthest thing from the truth. Because Lazarus had nothing. And at the end of the day, when you die, you have nothing but your integrity and how you live. How you treated people, how you talk to people, how you care for people, how you love people, or how you hated people, or how you did evil to people. See, death is a great equalizer. Because at the end of the day, when you die, the only person that dies is yourself. Right? This is a mechanism. Right? This is a machine for you to operate in this material existence. Right? So that you can breathe the air to operate in this reality. I mean, but we've all buried someone. We know that person that's in that casket is not the person we love because they've moved on. Right? That body is inanimate. There's no animation because the soul is gone and the spirit is left, but the flesh is left. So what's controlling you right now? Your flesh that will remain, that will be eaten by worms and roots, become the futuristic fall fusel? Or is it your spirit that's going to guide your soul when it leaves? See, this is the debacle that the rich man and Lazarus went through and the changing of the guard. What really matters? Keep reading.
and besides all this, between us and you there is great gulf fixed, so that they which would pass from hence to you cannot, neither can they pass to us that will come from thence.
You understand? So he's basically saying, well, Lazarus is, brother, you can't reach Lazarus. You understand? And what Lazarus is, brother, why would he want to reach you? Because when you was alive, was you reaching out to Lazarus? No, you wasn't. You was in your Tesla, you was in your Lamborghini, just zooming past every homeless man with a sign that you see. So why would you expect Lazarus to take his specs off and look at you? See, Lazarus is in the bosom of Abraham where it's good because of the sacrifice that he made. See, everybody got to die. See, and at the end of last class, the question was, so are you ready to kill yourself so you can live? Or you want to live so you can die? Either way, you're going to kill yourself in this life, or when the Lord kill you, you're going to die in the next life. That's where we are in the conversation right now. Keep reading.
For I have 5 brethren. SHALAM. This is the book of Luke, chapter 16, verse 27. Then he said, I pray thee therefore, Father, that thou wouldest send him to my father's house.
Well, why would he? Why would the Lord send Abraham? I'm sorry, send Lazarus to your daddy house. You lived in the gated community when you the rich man, right? You lived in the gated community. The only people that was allowed in your community when you was alive was contractors. That's it. Or other wealthy families. So you think in Lazarus' life where he's wealthy because he's in righteousness and righteous rulership, he's gonna step down from the throne to save your lineage of wickedness? No. They shall be removed from the face of the earth. Because it said Christ is going to rule with an iron fist, a rod of iron. You know what I'm saying? Anybody lifted weight understands, I mean, unless you got like 4, 5 on the, should keep it real, almost 6, that bar not going to bend. You understand what I'm saying? A rod of iron is something that is what Christ was. It said Christ was an austere man. Means not malleable, not likely to bend. So why would Lazarus in righteousness bend his will when you were in wickedness, not willing to build yours? See, there has to be a counterbalance, right? Yin and yang. Of course, I'm using a secular example for divine clarification or karma, right? So why would someone in righteous rulership bend for wickedness when you were in wickedness wouldn't bend for righteousness? It just doesn't make sense, right? Keep reading.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 16, verse 28. For I have 5 brethren, that he may testify unto them, lest they also come into this place of torment.
Right? Because what people fail to realize is that death is not the end. It's not your first time being here. It's not going to be your last time being here. You've been here since antiquity, right? And you're going to be here until time goes on and on and on, right? So why would we do that, right? They gonna get the same signs as everybody got. Noah told everybody that water was gonna fall from the sky. To that point, it was only dew on the ground and waters in lakes, rivers, and streams. Water had never fell from the sky. Imagine water didn't fall from the sky. Some dude is out there in the forest building a boat in the middle of the forest, nowhere near water. Nigga, water gonna fall from the sky. You gonna think he outside his everlasting mind. So why would I send someone to your 5 brothers who are just as wicked as you because you think you own? You think can't nobody touch you because you surrounded by the security of your finances, right? You think you're secure because of the level of your position at your job. But I always ask people this faithful question: what will you do when the lights get turned off? Like, and I'm not talking about your home. I'm talking about the United States, the world. What you gonna do when the EMP hit? When there's no central air, right? And when there's no electricity, the water plant is going to shut down. So now you're not going to have natural running water to your home, right? Do you know how to make a natural filtration system convert mucky swamp water to clean drinking water? Do you know how to hunt? Do you know how to fish, right? Can you build a home? No, you can't. I mean, so that's going to show you that majority of the people that are alive are going to die because they're going to fight over the resources at Walmart, at H-E-B, right? Whatever meat that's on the shelf, it's 7 days shelf time unless you convert it to jerky or you barbecue it. And really, the only one that's going to really have shelf life is if you put it in a smokehouse, you convert it to jerky. Produce, forget about it. That's, I mean, if it's a banana, hell, that's a couple of days. You know what I'm saying? So do you know how to convert earth into something that you can eat? No. Do you know how to the river, streams, the lakes, still water, you know what I'm saying, and convert that water into something that you can drink clean? Person, no. So it's going to be what the scripture says, neighbor rising against neighbor, right? City against city, right? Kingdom against kingdom. Water, this right here, H2O, this going to be the new stacks. How many cases of water you got, right? It ain't going to be about what you got to bank on. What I'm going to do with paper? I mean, we use paper and leaves to wipe our behinds with, right? It's going to be precious metals, utility metals, actually God's currency, silver and gold, right? Because silver is made to make utilities. Zinc is used to make utilities, right? Gold is just a precious metal. It's something that looks nice, right? And then if you have fish, right, and I got cement, right? Or if you got deer, he got a cow, right? That's what it's going to come down to. Or if both y'all got all of that, I got water. It's going to go back to what it was, trading goods for services. A man's work for the day, he gets paid for the day. You see what I'm saying? So paper isn't going to mean anything. Them numbers in your bank account when the lights get cut off, they're not going to exist. It's going to be what's in your wallet. Oh, that's a commercial. What's in your wallet? That's in the commercial, right? It's going to be what resources that you have. A TV not going to mean nothing. Unless you got at first, unless you have a gasoline-powered vehicle, you know what I'm saying? Electric cars ain't going to mean nothing. Tesla's out of there. You know what I'm saying? Tesla out of there. You understand? And then after a while, gas-powered vehicles ain't going to mean nothing. It's going to be who got a horse. It's going back to the wild, wild west. Right? People pulling carriage via livestock or horse. So unless you got water or horse or natural resource, right? We talking about agriculture. Ain't nobody fooling with you at all. It is going to be just like it was during the Wild, Wild West. Very scarce. Between you and your neighbor, many country miles. Right? Because you got to have 40 acres for you to get everything that you need, not only to supply your family, but to sell at market. I got to have 40 acres minimum to produce what I need for my family and to sell at market. Somebody, look, how many acres make up a mile? Somebody look that up. Look that up on your phone. Amadi, look that up on your phone. How many acres make up a mile? And if a house has 40 acres, that's going to put that into perspective. How many acres make up a mile? What did it say? You on?
It says 640 acres make up 1 mile.
640 acres make up 1 mile. So let's do this. I'm going to do the math. Wait, 640 acres make up a mile? That's not possible. Oh, I'm gonna look it up. Hold on. Let's see. Acre to
640 acres.
No, that's not right. So, hold on, I got it. Oh, in a linear mile, it takes 640 acres. Let's see, in a country mile. Let's see, country mile per acre. Oh, it's just short of that. So 40. Okay, so 40 miles, 40 acres equals to 0.62. So it's gonna take you a little bit short of a half a mile to get to your neighbor that's walking. Right? So go to market. Minimum, right? You're gonna need 40 acres because you're gonna need an acre for your livestock to graze, right? To squish for them, right? You or maybe 10 acres. They graze an acre land at a time. You're gonna need an acre for your beans. You're gonna need an acre for your tomatoes, an acre for your squash. You understand? All of these things for you to go to market with, right? But you know what it takes to get 40 acres? Finances that people don't have, right? So when the lights go out, what commodity do you have besides yourself? You know what that's going to turn into? Slavery, right? Like sharecropping. That's what sharecropping was. Sharecropping was a different form of slavery, and they set the deficit up to where blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans could never get ahead, right? And now the prison system is the new Jim Crow. It's the new slavery. It's set up the exact same way. Who can survive off of 75 to 35 cents a day? It's not possible. You see what I'm saying? But keep reading.
And Abraham said unto him, they have Moses and the prophets.
Mm-hmm.
Let them hear them. And he said, Nay, Father Abraham, but if no one went unto them for the dead, they will repent.
You understand? So the Lord is, so this is Christ talking because it's in red, right? So Christ is saying they have Moses, they have the prophets, the same as they had when you were alive, when you were rich and you didn't listen, and Lazarus was poor and he listened. Lazarus sacrificed himself. He didn't eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. He didn't celebrate birthdays. He didn't celebrate Christmas, Halloween, Memorial Day, 4th of July. You understand? Easter. He kept the high holy days. He ostracized himself in his job. When everybody eating cake in the bullpen and taking a break and having cake and juice, he was at his cubicle working, ostracizing himself from his job, making himself a black sheep. Well, who is he that he thinks he doesn't, he can't break when we break? You understand? Who is he not to celebrate this country's independence? But in 1776, your ancestors was shucking corn, chopping down wheat, chopping down sugarcane, right? Or picking cotton, getting your back broke, lynched, tarred and feathered, castrated, or buck broke. But I'm supposed to celebrate your independence. When 20 days after you celebrated your country's independence, you went on a warpath and you slaughtered 700 Native Americans, almost committed genocide on a whole Native American town. So you celebrated your independence by creating chaos and subjection through fear. Right? How does that add up? but I'm supposed to celebrate your independence. It's interesting. Keep reading.
And he said unto him, if they hear not Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded through one rose from the dead.
So if they not going to listen to Moses and the prophets, what makes you think they're going to listen to Lazarus when I send him? Lazarus is just one wealthy man that just happened to go to school, and, you know, he's in Silicon Valley now, you know, wife and kids. You know, you know what's interesting about this? I always tell people now, Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, they're at the top of their game, comedians. Jay-Z, he's at the top of his game as an entertainer and businessman, right? LeBron is at the top of his game as an athlete. You know who their neighbors are? Dentists. Doctors. They're probably not the top of their class, right? Orthopedics, surgeons, right? Anesthesiologists. I guarantee you they weren't the top of their class. I guarantee you. People that work in finance, CPAs, all right? I guarantee you don't know who their neighbors' names are, but they have to be the top of their industry to live next to someone that's regular in theirs. So you telling me they not gonna listen to somebody like LeBron, but they gonna listen to LeBron neighbor? Chill out. So your dentist working on your teeth. Man, you know you should be listening to the Lord, right? You be like, nigga, shut up. Work on this root canal. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? You're not gonna be listening to you're not gonna be listening to spiritual advice from your dentist. You understand? You're not going to be listening for spiritual advice from your car salesman, right? You're going to be listening to business advice from your anesthesiologist. Spiritual, you're not going to do it. You're just not. So you think they're going to listen to Lazarus was just Jesus' homeboy. The reason why Lazarus has a story is that Jesus wept, because that was his partner. Somebody he grew up with, his ace boon coon, his dude. You understand? But after Christ raised Lazarus from the dead, you ain't hear nothing from Lazarus. That's it. Lazarus didn't follow Christ. He didn't become a disciple. You know what I'm saying? He didn't go out on missions, none of that. But Lazarus was a poor man. Christ was his partner. He looked out for his partner. So in death, Christ looked out for him. So who you rolling with? You rolling with Christ in your poverty, Christ in your anguish, or you rolling with the world? These are questions you have to ask yourself. There's no security in finances, because if you go out here, drive home, get T-boned by a car, 18-wheeler, you a quadriplegic, what does money mean then? When you need someone to wipe your behind? Nothing. What does money mean when you need someone to swap out your catheter? Means nothing. What does money mean when you can't even remember that you have a child? You have Alzheimer's, you have dementia. You need someone to take care of you. Remember how to feed. Or you got what did Muhammad Ali have? Parkinson's. When you can't even hold a spoon. And you got to have somebody feed you. What does money mean then? Nothing. So life is about the relationship, right? We put too much stock on what this world built, what this world gives us. But this world is being wiped away, just like in the time of Noah. All right, let's go back to Genesis 6. Let's read the end of Genesis 6. Let's go and get to it.
You start at 17.
Well, you already read 17, start at 18.
18.
Yeah.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
But with thee I will establish my covenant.
Mm-hmm. But with who?
With thee.
So we have a couple of covenants, right? Okay. So the first agreement, if you will, or separation of people was the line of Adam from everyone else, right? And everyone else was determined as a seed of the serpent, right? Okay. Then you had the line of Adam, right? And then from the line of Adam, you got two other seeds, right? You got the seed of Cain, right? And then continuation of his seed all the way down to Noah. Okay. All right. So you have the Lord saying that I'm going to establish a covenant with you, just like I did with your forefather Adam, just like I did with your forefather Enoch, who I love so much, your great, great, great grandfather, who was so righteous, was the reason why you're perfect, that I took up into heaven. Because remember, it's only been people to ascend to the Bible. You got Israelites. That's it. That's the only people that have ascended in physical form to be in the heavens with the Most High. That's it. But don't twist. Just like how Enoch was a man after his own heart, so was the Lord Savior. You understand what I'm saying? It's not hard not to lie. It's not hard not to steal. It's not hard not to kill. It's not hard to honor your mother and your father. It's not hard. You understand? It might be inconvenient, but it's not hard. Okay, keep reading.
But with thee I will establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons.
Where verse you at?
Verse 18.
Gotcha, go ahead.
And thy wife and thy sons' wives with thee.
Now, Pete, this is why, I'm grateful for sisters to come into the truth. But this is why it's important for men to come into the truth. Because right here, the Lord is saying that I'm going to establish my covenant with you. And because of you, because of your work, because of your righteousness, because of your willingness to serve me, I'm going to save your sons, I'm going to save your wives, and hell, I'm going to save your sons' wives. You understand? So that's 8 souls that's saved because of one man. You understand what I'm saying? So when you say, who am I? I'm just one man. One man saved 8 souls and restarted mankind upon the face of the earth. So who are you? Are you one of one amongst many? Because one man saved 8 souls and restarted humanity upon the face of the earth. Because everybody to this day is either classified as Shemitic, Japhetic, you understand, or Hamitic. Everybody, right now. Those are the 3 classifications that are upon the face of the earth. Keep reading.
The book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
And every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort, shall thou bring into the ark, to keep them alive with thee. They shall be male and female, of fowl after their kin, and cattle after their kin, of their kind. It's like of every creeping thing of the earth after their kind. 2 of every sort shall come into thee, to keep them alive. And take thou unto thee all food that is eaten, and thou shalt gather it to thee and for thee.
All right. So understand, of the clean and unclean, right? There's 2 of every kind, but then he told him of those that you can eat, right? So we know these are clean meats, right? These are things that are not pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, rabbit, ostrich. That's not a big deal in the United States, but over in Africa, they be eating ostrich like it's crazy. It's a delicacy. Have an ostrich omelet, like it's a big thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like eating ostrich in like South Africa is like eating steak. You understand what I'm saying? But this is it's like you eating a buzzard. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you want to eat buzzard? No. You feel me? You want to eat a hawk? No. You know what I'm saying? Because they're birds of prey. They eat carcasses. They eat dead things that are on the side of the road. They eat live flesh just like you eat live flesh. You don't want to eat something dead that eats something dead. We eat things that eat things that are alive. Fish eat algae. You understand? Cows and oxes and bisons and bulls, they eat grass. Chickens, they eat chicken feed and grass, corn, wheat, stuff like that. They eat grass, right? Lamb, and goats, they eat grass. You know what I'm saying? Grasshoppers, they eat grass. Locusts, they eat grass, right? So we eat things that are likened unto them that was made to eat, right? And just like the Lord said, we'll take extra provisions because this is going to be 40 days and 40 nights. That's like a month and a week. You're going to be locked up. So you need to have provisions on it for you. So get a little bit extra of the clean animals so that y'all can have provisions to eat. Okay. All right. You at what, 22?
I know one count.
All right, go ahead.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
Thus did Noah, according to all that God commanded him.
All right, so we're going to move on to verse 7. 7, Salaki. All right.
This is the book of Genesis.
So this is where it's about to get real heavy. All right, we got to go ahead and read it.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 7. And the Lord said unto Noah, come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee have seen righteousness before me in this generation.
So the work of the Lord, it's hard, but the rest of the time from the reward is sweet. Right? So read verse 1 one more time.
And the Lord said unto Noah, come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee have I seen righteousness before me in this generation.
In this generation. So in this generation of lucid homosexuality, right? Lucid debauchery, right? We live in a very vile and degenerate generation. I remember as a child, hell, you barely saw people kissing on TV. You understand? Like, you seeing the consummation of the full marriage on television at this point. You understand? Like they showing everything but the hind parts. See what I'm saying? Like which you would have to pay extra money for a special on Cinemax for a Naughty Channel or HBO is just shown on regular television now. That's the generation that we live in. But Noah was not like his generation. He separated himself. Well, how could he know to separate himself? First of all, we know the stock he comes from. He comes from Enoch, who was the first man to ascend into the heavens as a man. Come up here with me. Come with your boy. That's what the Lord told the angels. Come, that one right there, get that one. Bring him up here. That was his great grandfather. And his father Lamech made doggone sure he carried that legacy. I don't care what your partners do, but you mine. This is what we do. You're not gonna be hanging out with them on the corner. I always use the example of JoJo house. You know what I'm saying? Your daddy tell you, you understand, I want you home by the street lights. I don't want you to go by past this portion of the street, because he's lived a life before you. So he's seen the spirits that are out here and what they'll become before you. You think JoJo cool, but he know the stock that JoJo come from. See, your daddy tell you to clean your room. You understand? Cut the yard, wash the dishes. You understand what I'm saying? Keep your bathroom clean. Why? Because he knows at one point in time, you gonna have to keep house. Go ahead.
If I may, move bricks from one side of the yard to the next.
Pour concrete.
Pour concrete.
You know what I'm saying? I can attest to that. I've seen that. But as a man, when you get older, you appreciate these things. You understand? When somebody put a hole in the wall, you know how to repair sheetrock. You know what I'm saying? You got to call somebody to do that, or hell, you can lay sheetrock yourself. You can tape and float yourself. You understand? But in this generation, that's not something that's so common, just like in Noah's generation. So Noah is where we are. Righteousness is not something that's common. Pornography is. Righteousness is not something that's common. Homosexuality is. Righteousness is not something that's common. Murder is. You understand what I'm saying? Theft is. To where, I mean, hell, you can steal presidencies now. You know what I'm saying? The highest office in the land. It's proven that this person is guilty of stealing this job, but you still let them have it. You see what I'm saying? We are living in the time of Noah right now. Because Christ said that's what it's going to be in the end. It's going to be just like the time of Noah. All right, give me this precept. Give me Matthew 11 and 28. You understand? Because one thing you got to understand in this life is hard. No one told you that this life is going to be easy. You understand? But through hard work, there's a reward. You understand? Like, if you spend your time, you understand, learning to lay concrete, I mean, you don't have to call somebody to lay concrete for you. You just do it yourself. Concrete breaking, just remove the slab out, replace it. You know, fence post break, you can just put the cement down and replace it. You don't got to call somebody to do it. You can measure boards. It's not hard. You understand what I'm saying? Go ahead, read.
This is the book of Matthew 28. Come to me, all ye that labor heavy laden, and I will give you rest.
The Lord says, come, everyone that is laden, and I will give you rest. You understand? It is a hard thing in this day and age not to accept homosexuality. Hell, you could be fired for that. Right? It is a hard thing in this day and age in society not to lie. Everybody lies to make themselves look good. That's what filters on Instagram are. It's a lie. You know what I'm saying? Lying is big business. Go ahead.
SHALAM, that's what 25% of resumes are.
Exactly.
Of the resumes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like everybody lies. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I mean, hell, like being in the gym and fitness is big business, but they be trying to sell you to be a natural athlete, but they taking steroids. You understand? Taking supplements. You understand? Extra testosterone pills. You understand? But they're going to tell you, do pull-ups, sit-ups, and push-ups. Hit bench this way, hit bench that way. But they shooting up. You understand what I'm saying? This is the generation. We live in a generation of lies. a house of lies, and it's crumbling. That's why people are getting these BBLs. You understand? They're getting all this augmentation and facial reconstruction surgery because we live in an altered reality. But what was crazy is back in the day, during like, the 1800s, you remember how the people in England, they would wear these skirts with the big little bell, right? Because they were imitating their slaves because they knew their husband was attracted to the big buttocks of the slave, right? And you're now imitating your oppressor, imitating you. You understand what I'm saying? To where you're an over exaggeration of what God naturally made you. You understand? You don't need lashes. We got lashes. The Lord naturally gave you with something that a man is attracted to. I guarantee you, sister, if you are overweight, there's a brother. 9 times out of 10, you think it's gonna be a big brother. No, skinny. I know a lot of skinny brothers that love big women. You understand? There is somebody for everybody. You understand? There's in the way that you are, a man will have relations with a woman in a bonnet and a t-shirt, you understand, with a face mask on. You understand? You want to know why? Because you're a woman and he's a man. Ain't no augmentation gonna change. Sex change is gonna change that either. Just because you mentally, I don't give you the plumbing. Just because you mentally identify as a man and you buy plastic prosthetics to please your mate, it don't make you a man. We all have roles. Right? See, one thing, what's coming, it was the flood that was coming, and no, it's the age of fire is coming with Christ. Because he's going to cleanse this earth with an holy fire. But first, it's going to be neighbor against neighbor. It's going to be city against city, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. You understand? The Lord going to weed it out. You know what I'm saying? Ukraine going through it right now. It's neighbor against neighbor and kingdom against kingdom. Right now. Their electricity is cut off. They fresh running water is cut off. Is you ready for it? Because best believe it's coming to America. You'd be a fool to know that Babylon fell. Assyria fell. The Persians and the Medes fell. Egypt fell. Greece fell. Rome fell. I mean, that's some hellified averages. And each of these nations controlled the known world in their time. America has fallen. It's already happening. They're hemorrhaging debt, not resources. Debt. They're hemorrhaging fake money because they have no money. You understand? Every other nation exchanges goods for services. We exchange debt for service. China owns 75% of the monuments on Washington because America is in debt. You understand? Just think about it. You know what I'm saying? How would you feel if the Lincoln Monument was owned by Kim Jong-un? You know what I'm saying? You feel me? That's an extreme example. But this is how in bed America is with China. Now, if these other countries, like made in China, made in Mexico, made in Venezuela, right? If things are switched from the American dollar standard, let's say they do gold, right? Or silver, right? These nations will be okay because they exchange goods for services. That's what their economic climate is set off of. But America will become a third world country overnight. because we produce nothing. Everything is all imports. When you go through the things you buy on Amazon, just look where it's made from. Taiwan, China, you understand? Venezuela, Mexico, France. It's to the point now where the fashion houses like Gucci, Fendi, I'm trying to think of another one that's in Rome. Those are two that come to mind now. But all the leather work they're doing in Rome, in Italy. You understand what I'm saying? So that way it's producing and maturing their economy. There are not many things that are from America that's made in America. Everything's outsourced. We're a country of users. So when the lights go out and the resources gone, what you gonna do? Go ahead.
This is the reason why they killed Gaddafi,
Facts.
because he was trying to create his own currency for his own country.
Facts. He was going to make a united African currency based off of the resources, backed by the resources that were in the ground. So we talking about diamonds, zinc, gold, silver, you understand, crude oils, you understand what I'm saying? So everything that to make majority of the world's computers, it comes from the zinc in Africa. All the diamonds, all the chips that's powered and CPUs that use quartz crystals and diamonds, they come from Africa. Majority of your rings in the De Beers diamond district that disperse all the diamonds for all the rings in the world, they come from Africa. So when Gaddafi was going to do that, overnight America would have become a third world country. All the white nations, England, France, Russia, Switzerland, the Dutch, you understand? They were America, Canada, you understand? Greenland, they were immediately going to become third world countries because they produce nothing. At least Taiwan, it naturally has 10. That's what Vietnam was about. It was about 10. It was about the automotive district. That's what it was about. You understand? Thousands of brothers, you understand, Hispanics, Native Americans died in Vietnam for tin metal, for the automotive industry. That's what that was about. The war on terrorism and Desert Storm, that was about oil. You understand? I lost family members. I can remember that. I remember like my mom's first cousin is more like an uncle to me. Him sending pictures home of his ship. You know what I'm saying? The whole of his ship, like it like the Incredible Hulk came and like macked it, man. Like it was the size of 5 Ram pickup trucks. You know what I'm saying? It was a huge crater. You understand? And we're dying for a country. When you get pulled over, it don't matter. Your tail light out, you die. Right? You failure to signal, you die. You're smoking a cigarette in your car, you die. You have a license to carry, you die. You don't reach for the weapons. You're asking me to reach for my identification. I'm letting you know I have a license to carry. I'm reaching for my license. I'm not armed. There is a weapon in the vehicle, but I am not armed. I'm reaching for my wallet. You die. You taking a walk in your neighborhood that you pay HOA fees, mortgage. You die. You understand what I'm saying? So you serving in the military of a nation with all of these things, just take the gun and put it in your mouth. But the question that I have is, how do you choose to die? You can either kill yourself every day by sacrificing your flesh and the lusted desires your person, your being. Or you can just die slowly by having a bad diet. You know, poor shrimp and lobster gives you diabetes, hypertension, high blood pressure, cancer. You understand? Gout. You know, you want to lay with women and not vet them and court them, and you just want to just lay and get your rocks off. Cool. You know, get you a blue waffle. That's a crazy version of herpes. If you don't know what that is, Google it. It is disgusting. It's crazy, right? You know, gonorrhea. You know, but hell, I mean, shit, HIV, AIDS, knock yourself out. You know, you want to smoke weed, cigarettes. I mean, hell, I was a huge cigar aficionado. I love cigars. Romeo and Julietas, those were my boys. The Acids, those were my, love them. You understand? But let's keep it real. You're committing slow suicide. You're introducing carcinogen into your lungs. And after a while, you develop polyps. From polyps, you get what? Cancer. Right? You're committing slow suicides. Isn't that what we talked about? You want to die. Because the oppression is so hard. You can't take the way your supervisor talks to you because you a man, just like he a man. You can't take the way the cop talk to you when you pull it over because he a man just like you a man. You can't take the way that this government is set up because you just trying to make it because you a man. And you can't understand it because they're men. They just want the right of flesh and blood because you're flesh and blood. So you drink. There's nothing wrong with drinking. Just don't get drunk. Right? You indulge in late night activities, whether it's gluttony or eating things that you don't have to do because you can't go to sleep because you have anxiety. Because you're thinking about what you got to do tomorrow at work. You stressed out. You know, your family think everything is okay, but you a month behind on the mortgage. You realize that I can't afford to put groceries in the house next week. So you stressed out, so you trying to find a way to even it out. Hit that Newport. Or you chilling with your partners, hit that. Or they sniff that. Because what you realize, no matter what escapism that you use to escape, you know, in my generation, we call it putting the effort in your system. You got to come down and deal. You still got to deal with reality. That you still a month behind on your mortgage, but you put it up your nose, you put it in your arm, you smoked it. See, my issue was, I was selling, right? I literally I either sold or burned my money through smoking and selling product. You understand? Sold to my godparents, sold to my parents' friends. You understand what I'm saying? Like, no morality. Because I want to die, I want you to die. So I'm going to take as many with me as possible. That's why when you do your extracurricular activities, you want to include others. Because you're selfish. You don't want to die alone. Let's go to this crawfish boil. It's just crawfish. You know what I'm saying? Man, let's go take a smoke break together. It's just nicotine. Oh, match this blunt with me, bro. It's just weed. You see what I'm saying? Now, That's why the old saying is, if you lie, you steal. If you steal, you cheat. If you cheat, you'll kill. Because it's all about opening the door to the floodgates of escapism. That's why the scripture says, broad is the path of destruction. How you want to die? Let me know how you want to die. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you want to go out with a bang in the bedroom? I got you, baby. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get you all the happy endings you want. We're gonna take you over there off of Bissonnette. You know what I'm saying? To the stroll, baby. You go out with a bang. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, man. I know it's hard out here, man. I got this weed for you, baby. You know what I'm saying? Free your mind. You understand what I'm saying? Like, just free your mind. But people realize they praise Bob Marley, but he died of cancer. They don't tell you that part, though. He died of cancer. You know what I'm saying? He was smoking the weed that was from the earth. That's the weed they got today. It got fentanyl in it. You understand what I'm saying? Got extra additives and preservatives. You know, if Marlboro get a hold of a weed, you know they adding something to it. You understand what I'm saying? Marlboro got their own weed that they distribute in Cali and in Denver. You understand what I'm saying? So, how you want to die? You understand? Oh man, you want to be multicultural. I know it's so many cultures here on the face of the earth. They have so many diets and delicacies. You wanna partake of the people when you in Rome. You want to do as the Romans do. I got you. You understand? Eat you some ostrich, man. Get some buzzard. You understand? Eat you some bald eagle. You understand? Some eel. Some alligator, some shark. Fill yourself with your flesh delight. But now you got high blood pressure. Got hypertension. Limbs cut off because of the sugars. You understand? Control your flesh. You butter. You gotta have bonbons and ice cream. You can't control yourself. So how you want to die? The Lord had patience while Noah was building the ark. I mean, I would honestly believe if a man and his family came to Noah and be like, look, man, like, you following Enoch, man. That's our ancestor, man. And, you know, I've messed up and I'm trying to get back righteous, man. Can you show me the ways that your people showed you that we family? So I'm trying to get back to it. I mean, because when the Lord told Abraham he's going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, Abraham was like, well, I mean, if it's 40 there, if it's 40 there, that's righteous. Well, you're not. He went from 40 to 5. You understand? And the Lord saved 8 souls because of one man. So you mean to tell me if you're not willing to die, what are you living for? Because like the things that we're living for, they don't fulfill us. I mean, they're fleeting. You know what I'm saying? You vacillate from one emotion to the other, whether you're happy, you're sad, you understand, you excited, you depressed, it all happens in the same day. You can love and hate your wife in the same day. That's easy. It take one phone call. You know what I'm saying? It take one phone call. You know what I'm saying? You wake up in the morning, baby done made me breakfast. She didn't pack my lunch for me. She hits you around lunchtime, baby, we need to talk. Every man know what that means. You understand? You like, what didn't happen now? And she hits you with all of her woes, and by the end of the conversation, she cool and you vexed. You understand? Because as a man, because you're the protector, you got to figure it out because the house is on your shoulders. See, the woman can mess up and the house be cool, right? But if the man mess up, everybody off. The man leave the house, The child is wayward. There's no one to protect the child. The child can be molested. He become a homosexual, a sexual deviant, a rapist. You understand what I'm saying? The daughter don't know what a real man is, so she out here laying with every thug that's using her. She end up becoming a prostitute, a drug addict. If we don't make the right decision, everybody's messed up. Noah made the right decision. And because Noah stood on his square, he didn't make the same mistake Adam did. Because of Adam, we got kicked out of the garden because he didn't check his wife. Regardless whether his sons felt a certain way, his sons' wives, his wife felt a certain way, my house is going to serve the Lord. Either you're going to get down or you're going to lay down. And because of his rest of the sacrifice, because of his sacrifice, he lived while the rest of the world was going to die. Keep reading. Let's go back to Genesis 7. We at 7 and 2.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 7, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by 7, male and female.
Mm-hmm.
And of the beasts that are not clean by 2.
Okay, so in the Christian church, did I have you tell you that Noah took only 2 of each animal into the ark? That's not true. It said of the clean beasts, how many?
By 7.
By 7. The reason why is because we eat clean beasts. That's our dietary law. The Lord is not going to have you trapped on a boat with all of these animals for a month and not give you provisions. So if your dried fruit, you know what I'm saying, then ran out, you got protein. If your wheat then started getting moldy and mildew, you understand, you got protein. You're able to take care of yourself. But of the things that were unclean, he said, take how many?
2.
Take how many?
2, sir.
You understand? So you were to take 2 of every unclean beast, right? So this lets you know if the Lord is saying this to Noah that he had understanding of this. See, the law didn't start with Moses. It started with Adam. That's what the breath of life was. Because it said the breath of life made Adam a living soul. See, even now in our ignorance, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we are the most spiritual people on the face of the earth. It's not hard to tell. It's not. Nobody praises the Lord like a Black, Hispanic, or Native American. Nobody. Even in their misguided dogmas, following religious practices of other religions, nobody praises the Lord like Blacks, Hispanics, or Native Americans. Nobody. You understand? Because to us was given the service of God because we are the true sons and daughters of God. That's what Yasha'Allah or Israel means. It means prince of the power, sons of the power. Right? So let's find out where this comes from. Let's go to the book of Leviticus. Right? Let's go to Leviticus 11 and 1. For those that don't know about chapter 11 of the book of Leviticus, this is where your dietary law is. This is where it tells you what to eat and not to eat so you don't get cancer, so you don't get gout, so you don't get hypertension, so you don't get diabetes. You understand? So you don't get, you understand, all of these different plagues in the body due to you having an improper diet. I mean, hell, you can say that this is the founding youth. We already know that black don't crack, but, and when I say black, I mean Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You understand? But if you really taking care of your body, like I'm 37 years old. This man thought I was 25 yesterday. You understand what I'm saying? If you take care of your body, your temple, because The temple, the body is the temple of the Most High God. It's not made by hands. That's what Christ meant when he said, you will destroy this temple and I will build it back in 3 days. They thought he was talking about the synagogue. He was talking about his body. Because the Spirit of the Most High dwells inside of you. Okay? All right? So let's go to Leviticus 11:1. When you got to go ahead and read it.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, speak unto the children of Israel.
Speak unto who?
The children of Israel.
Now, does it say the entire world?
Does
it say like the Russians?
Does
it say the French, the English? Does it say the Asians, like the Chinese and the Japanese? Does it say the East Indians? Who it say?
Children of Israel.
The children of Israel is talking about one people. It's not talking about the entire world. Read.
Saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth.
Right. Because he wants you to live a life and to live it more abundantly. Right? So you are what you eat. If you eat dead things that eat dead things, you're gonna die. It's that simple. Pigs are the trash men up on the face of the earth. They literally have no pores on their body. They are an incubator for disease. Any butcher, if you ask him, when he butchers a pig, they have cancer sores in their flesh. They bleach them out so they can sell it to you. Because any person with common sense, what's that black spot on that meat? I ain't gonna eat that. You're literally eating cancer. You're literally putting it in your body. You understand what I'm saying? So you don't gotta just smoke it. You can eat it. You can eat cancer. You don't gotta put it in your lungs. You can eat it. You understand what I'm saying? Like when you eat shrimp, crab, lobster, you know what I'm saying? Sea urchins, you understand? Oysters. One thing you gotta understand, do you know how a pearl is formed? An oyster is the water filtration system of the sea. Like if you have a let's say you have a water tank with you know like a little aquarium in your house, and the water gets murky. If you throw oysters in there, within 24 hours, that water will be crystal clear. They suck in the dirt and all of the nasty particles that's in the water to make it clean. And over time and pressure, it turns into a pearl. That's how you get pearl. You didn't know people was wearing doo-doo around their neck, did you? That's what a pearl is. It's oyster poop. You understand? Crabs, shrimps, lobsters, they literally are the roaches of the sea. They eat everything that floats to the bottom. Dead bodies, excrement, you know what I'm saying? Fecal matter and feces. This is what they eat. They break down everything that falls to the bottom, just like worms and roaches do it. Matter of fact, you know what? The eel is the worm. You understand? The crustaceans are the roaches. They break down the things that are dead. Maggots. You understand? Like, you won't eat a maggot, but you'll eat a sea urchin. It's the same thing. It does the same thing. You understand? This is what the book of Leviticus is. It tells you what to eat so that you don't die. It's not hard. I guarantee you, lamb is amazing. Goat is amazing. Cow, bull, bison, buffalo, it's amazing. Chicken, it's amazing. Quail, amazing. You want to get adventurous? Pigeon, hey, it's amazing. Fish, It's amazing. But you want to eat a roach? Come on, man. Come on, bro. But what's crazy is these are delicacies for the nations. You want to be multicultural. You understand? Do you realize how much you think a lobster costs right now? Go ahead.
As big as this microphone, that's probably like
$70, right? Are you aware in 1965 you can get a bag of lobsters, talking about 5 to 10 for $5? Because they knew what lobsters were then. They're roaches. But because they've made the things that are ungodly godly, you'll pay high dollar for them. Just turn over your trash can. There's some roaches up under there. You got some rotten wood somewhere, just pop it open. There's some roaches in there. Get you some roaches. That's what it is. They the same family. They got the same body parts. Same. They're almost identical cousins. Let's go ahead. Oh, you don't want to kill yourself that way? Just take the gun. Or got a knife right here for you. Just open your veins. Why do it slow? Oh, I know why. Because you want to take other people with you, right? You want your partner to roll with you, man. Just like he rolled with you in the club, man. Let's roll to the afterlife together. You know what I'm saying? Let's pop these veins together, man. I got us matching guns. Let's count to 3 and pull the triggers at the same time. That's what you want, because you're selfish. See, you don't want to die immediately because you're alone. You want to widen the death party. That's why Scripture says broad is the path to destruction. Narrow is the way to life. Because when you go to a crawfish broil and you say, I don't eat crawfish, you look crazy. In this world, you say you don't celebrate your birthday, or like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I ain't celebrated my parents' birthday in like almost 10 years now. At first, I used to look crazy. My mom, like my mama's friends used to call it like, girl, let me tell you what my baby got me for my birthday. And my mama would feel bad, and she would put pressure on me. You know what I'm saying? You seem crazy. You don't want to take a break from oppression at your job and get some cake and ice cream and some juice? They're going to let us chill for 30 minutes at the end of the day. They're bringing beer. Boss said first rounds at him on happy hour. You're not coming? What you mean? They're giving us the last hour off on the day. Oh, so you're going to work, so you just go home. You just want to go home. So you think you're better than us? That's what people think. That's what they thought of Noah. Thought he was crazy. He telling y'all, water going to fall from the sky. Water ain't never fell from the sky before. We telling you that the sky going to crack open. A revolutionary black man whose eyes is going to be red of fire with a gray afro, with 200 million cherries, is going to come into the sky, and he's only coming for niggas, spicks, and savages. We sound delusional. Crazy. Just like Noah. Keep reading. Matter of fact, go back to Genesis. Genesis 7. We're going to read verse 2. We're going to break that down, and we're going to stop there and pick up next week.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 7, verse 2. Every clean.
Okay, we already broke that down. Reading?
2. Okay. Every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by 7.
Read
verse 3. No, one time. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 7, verse 3. Of the fowl also of the air by 7. The male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of the earth. For yet 7 days and I will cause it to rain upon the earth for 40 days and 40 nights.
Mm-hmm.
And every living substance that I have made, will I destroy from the face of the earth. And Noah did according to all, according to unto all the Lord's commandments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where you at?
6.
Keep reading.
And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of the waters was upon the earth.
All right, so I'm gonna speed y'all up for time's sake. All right, so he done brought all the beasts into the ark. The Lord then started all the rain upon the face, or he started the beginning of the flood. People like, oh, that's waterfall from the sky. That's cute. You know, quick little shower, we okay. You know what I'm saying? But it's been raining for, at this point, 3 days straight. You walking outside, water up midway in the driveway. Oh, what's going on? Foundation rising. House getting unsettled. You know what I'm saying? You seeing your cow roll down the street. You understand? I mean, what is this? I ain't never seen this before. You know what I'm saying? I've only seen dew sit on the grass. I never seen dew cover the grass. And it's coming from the sky. Oh my God, woe is me. It's at my shins. I can't see the snakes, the ants. They're grasping a hold of me because I'm above the water biting me. Keep reading. Because we know water moccasins, boy, they through that water. You know what I'm saying? Go on, drop down to verse 12 for me. Mm-hmm. Start at 11. This is
the book of Genesis chapter 7, verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the second month of the 17th day of the month, the same day where all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the wind, and the windows of the heavens were open.
I stand corrected. It was worse than that. Not only water from heaven was coming down, he said he broke the doors of the deep. And if y'all remember, when I did the Genesis breakdown, I showed you the cycle, how the ocean floods into streams, rivers, and lakes. Everything is connected. The only reason why you have clean water, you understand, fresh water, is because it filtrates through the ground. That's also how you get clean drinking water in the store. To do that, you know, you got your charcoal, your gravel, your sand, you understand, and then your loose pebbles. You pour it through there, you pour it through the whole bunch of times till it becomes clear, and then you boil it. That's how you get drinkable water, right? It's the same process it goes through when the salt water goes through the earth and comes through the mountains and down to the streams and the rivers and the lakes. It's the same process. But the Lord broke the doors that was at the bottom, so everything just leveling up at the same time. Ain't no more ice, you understand, covering top. It's just water. So you got water coming from the bottom, water coming top. It's just rise. It's Katrina to the 100th power. All right, keep reading. 12.
And the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights.
Mm-hmm.
In the self same day entered Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and 3 wives of his sons.
You understand? One thing that you have to understand is that when you work for the Lord will work on your behalf. Give me 1 Samuel 12 and 18. You know what I'm saying? We gonna break this down and then we gonna stop here. 1 Samuel, what I say? 12 and 18. You gotta go ahead and read it.
It's the book of 1 Samuel 12 and 18.
Mm-hmm.
So Samuel called unto the Lord, and the Lord sent thunder and rain that day.
Matter of fact, start at 17. Oh, no, start at 16. Start at 16.
1 Samuel 12, verse 17.
16.
16.
Mm-hmm.
Now therefore stand and see this great thing, which the Lord will do before your eyes.
You know what I'm saying? So you got these heathens coming up against Samuel. When I say heathens, you know, people that don't, I mean, anybody can be a heathen. You know what I'm saying? Black, Hispanic, and Native American child of Israel can be a heathen, just like a child of Israel can be a devil. Just like a white man can be a devil. I mean, Christ told Peter, get thee behind me, Satan. You understand what I'm saying? So you got these unbelievers that don't believe. He's like, with no sweat, I'm going to tell you what, the Lord gonna show you. He's going to do a new thing. Just like he did with Moses when he opened up the ground and swallowed up the people that rose up against him. Oh, Lord said, I'm going to do a new thing in the earth. Read.
Verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
Is it not wheat harvest today? I will call unto the Lord, and he shall send thunder and rain, that ye may perceive and see that your wickedness is great, which ye have done in the sight of the Lord, in asking you a king.
Mm-hmm.
So Samuel called unto the Lord, and the Lord sent thunder and rain that day. And all the people greatly feared the Lord and Samuel.
You understand? Because they remembered what happened in the time of Noah. You understand? Samuel called down what the Lord told Noah that he was going to bring down. You understand? But when you're righteous, the Lord works on your behalf. He will remove your enemies from your face. Imagine Noah being a child hanging around his cousins and his brothers and his peers. He was probably picked on because he was the only one he was a goody two-shoe. He was teased, he was ridiculed, all the way up to a grown man. He building a boat in the middle of the woods, nowhere near water. But the Lord showed them because Noah made a sacrifice. And because of his sacrifice, not only was he saved, but 8 other people, including himself, were saved as well. So don't say, I'm just one man. One man can literally save the world. I mean, hell, y'all look at people like Malcolm, Martin, Luther King, Marcus Garvey, Medgar Evers, and all of these people. These were one people. You got to understand, during the civil rights movement, it was less than 20% making decisions for the other 80 or 95%. It wasn't everybody. Everybody wasn't power to the people. Everybody wasn't down for the movement. You understand? Everybody wasn't with Huey P. Newton. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody wasn't with John Africa in Philly with the MOVE movement when the bombs was dropped down like it was in Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Everybody wasn't with them. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody wasn't on the balcony of the hotel with Martin. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wasn't marching in Selma. You see what I'm saying? So don't tell me I'm just one man, because we talk about one man all day. All I see is online is conversations about LeBron and Jordan and Kobe. These are singularities and generations of men. Or Julius Erving. You understand? Or hear conversations about Barry Sanders, Jerry Rice. These are one man amongst men. But the thing that you don't recognize that's in all of these men that you lack is discipline. What Noah had was discipline. What Enoch had was discipline. What Abel had that got him murdered was discipline. What Adam lacked that got him kicked out of the garden was discipline. You lack discipline and conviction. See, the reason why you do what you want to do is because you lack conviction. Ain't nothing gonna happen to me. It's just a little weed. It's just a little weed. It's a little nicotine. It's a little pork. It ain't hurt nobody. But when you asking people to pray for you because you got to get a catheter, or you asking people to pray for you because you might get your leg amputated or your fingers or your arm amputated, or when you got to get a breast removed or a lung removed, right? Why should we pray for you? You wouldn't ask for prayer when you were smoking that weed, smoking that cigarette, eating that pork, eating that. You wouldn't ask for prayer then. You wouldn't ask for you to have prayer for strength to relieve you of this burden. So why are we praying for it now? See, what you fail to realize is the wage of sin is death. Right? Christ said that he that endures to the end, the same shall be saved. Now, the end is two things. The end is you dying in this life, being a loser. I mean, not celebrating birthdays or going to your friend's birthday party, you seem like a loser. Not celebrating Halloween, you seem like a loser. You're a party pooper. Right? You know, not celebrating Thanksgiving. I mean, like my family look at me crazy, but I look at them crazy because, like, grandmother and great grandfather were Choctaw Native Americans, right? Thanksgiving is literally about hunting parties for Native Americans, right? Just go to their grave and just piss on it. Or just dig up their bones and just defecate in the skull. Just do that. Or travel back in time and slap your ancestor in the face. It's like slapping your grandmother. You wouldn't do that. It's just not right. It doesn't make sense. It's how the Lord looks at you when you make these foolish decisions, when he tells you to make your bed and put your dirty clothes in the hamper so your room won't smell like a locker room. Wash the dishes so we don't have roaches. It's for your benefit. It's not just for me. I'm not telling you to cut the yard because I don't want to cut the yard. I got something to do to make sure you got a roof over your head. So I need you to make sure under the roof it's cool so we can all be cool. So when you become a man, you can do the same thing. I'm not doing this because I don't like you. I'm doing it because I love you. I tell you the things that you don't want to do because I love you. I used to smoke weed. It feel good. You be floating. Problems don't mean nothing. It's the effort in your system. It feel good. But you're destroying your lungs, and whatever problems that you have that you're escaping from, they're still there. They're still there. They didn't. You understand? Drinking is good. I mean, I got a drink right here. I'm not drunk. Because when you're drunk, you lose all inclination and you're susceptible to do things that you probably shouldn't do. Like you could take someone's life, lay with a woman that's not yours. Lay with a woman that's going to give you 18 years of mental anguish and physical pain because you can't feed yourself because you're in poverty because your whole check is going from child support. Because you lack discipline and conviction. You got to have a contrite heart. Okay, you a sinner. Okay, tomorrow's a new day. What do we change? Rome wasn't built in a day. Ain't that what the saying is? So what steps can we make killing ourselves now so when the Lord comes, we don't die? Because he's not coming to talk. He talked from Matthew to right before Acts. Okay? Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. That was all the talking. Scripture says he coming with 200 million chariots. His eyes is going to be red as fire. It says the hem of his garment is going to be dipped in blood. What blood you think is going to be on the hem of his garment? Where the blood coming from? He not coming to talk. He said, he that leads in the captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. This is the patience of the saints. This is what they don't talk about in the Christian church. This is in Revelations. When the last time you heard a book of the Bible talked about a sermon on Hosea, Obadiah, Nehemiah, Micah, Nahum, Hosea? This is where all the prophecies is at. You understand? This is what's telling you what's to come. See, people get mad when I say our oppressors going into slavery. Well, that ain't right. We were slaves. We shouldn't want to slave nobody. It's in Isaiah chapter 14. It says, those that were your oppressors, you understand? You shall be over them, and they shall be servants and handmaidens. What is a servant and handmaiden? It's a slave. You understand? You on the golf course, fetch me my tea, boy. Ain't that how they used to talk to you in the 60s? Shine my shoes, boy. Ain't that how they used to talk to you? Only person that call you boy is your daddy or your master. Either or, it's the same thing. So, I said last class, kill yourself now or die later. It's up to you. The old man got, so either you can kill him or Christ gonna kill him. Either way, it's gonna be like the time of Noah. Either you're gonna be one of the souls saved on the ark, because the chariots is coming. Say Christ coming like a thief in the night. Or you be one of the people, no, you know, they drowning. Hearing dead bodies of animals and just knocking up against the ark. Hearing the screams coming from below you because you in the heavens taking off away from the fire that's coming. The nuclear fallout that's coming. What's important to you? It's right behind you. The depiction is right behind you. Christ right there. People behind him decapitated. You got flying saucers burning. It's going to be Independence Day, Geostorm, the day the earth stood still, the Walking Dead. It's going to be all of them at one time, because it says that when those UFOs come, it's going to be just like when Christ was crucified. The dead are going to get out of the crypt. Like, can you fathom that? You walking down the street, you just might happen to, you off of Cullen living somewhere, and you know, they went off of Cullen, because you know how the graveyard's over there. You understand what I'm saying? And you literally seeing people punching out of the earth with bones, and you seeing dead flesh reanimate, becoming muscle and turning back in the skin and attaching the flesh walking down the street. It would drive you insane. Scripture says that the day of the Lord is darkness and it is not light. It's like being chased by a lion and being met by a bear, and to go into a house for cover and to put your hand on the wall and be bit by a serpent. There's no way you can run. So either kill yourself now or die later. The choice is yours. You don't make me no never mind, because every man, woman, and child is in charge of their soul. For your child's sake, you got to do it, because they're going to die because of you. So if you a single mama, quote unquote, you understand? Scripture says that the unrighteous are delivered or saved because of the righteous sake. Or if you're married and you choose to come into the truth and your wife wants to be a heathen, she's covered because of your decisions, or vice versa with the woman and the man and the children. They're covered because of your decisions. See, the Lord gonna make it not about you, regardless whether you want it to or not. See, You willing to kill yourself, but are you willing to allow your newborn to die because of your decision that you made? It's just he can't even feed it. So he can't even hold his head up. Can barely walk. He can't even communicate, but he gonna die because of decisions. If it's mom and daddy does, because of decision that daddy made. If mama does, just that, it's because of decision of what mama made. See, the hardest part about what's coming is that people don't understand babies are going to die. Children, infants are going to die. You don't think, ask Ukraine. Ask Afghanistan, they know. Yeah. Ask Iran and Iraq, they know. Yeah. Ask Venezuela, they know. Right? Ask Acuna and Mexico with the cartel, they know. Ask Colombia, they know. Right? They know. That's what's coming. So either kill yourself now or die later. Either way, you got to die. Everybody got to die. But it's how you choose to die. You can just fall asleep in your bed, draw up your feet, and wake up with your ancestors. That's what it says. That's how you're supposed to die. In the Bible, when it was the time of the righteous, the way it said they died, he drew up his feet and went to sleep with his fathers. It's a peaceful death. You knew no pain. There was no cancer. There was no heart attacks. You understand? There was no cardiac arrest. There was no AIDS, HIV. There was none of that. You just went to sleep. He took his last breath. That was it. You conceived and died at one point in time like animals do. Like animals don't, you don't hear the females travailing in birth. But the reason why we do is because of the decisions that Eve made. Or let me take that back. The decisions that Adam did not make. Be a man. Check your wife. First off, check yourself. You can't check nobody if you have no discipline. If you have no integrity, no moral compass. That's what all of this is about. It's a simulation. It's a game. Everybody is a main character and supporting actor in their life. Everybody. How's your story written? It ain't about how it started. It's about how it ends. That's the parable of the person that owned the vineyard. You know what I'm saying? You had one person that came at the beginning of the day. He worked all day. One person that came before midday and worked the rest of the day. One person that came at midday, and then one person that came at the end. But they all got paid the same wage. All of them got paid the same wage. You have the one that came at the beginning. He was resentful of the one that came at the end, and they got the same wage. That's because you lack brotherhood. Because you think you're special. You're not. You deserve to die. All flesh has sinned. I deserve to die. You deserve to die. You deserve to die. Everyone deserves to die. But we have grace and mercy because of Christ. But that grace runs out. It's a time period from the time when he left to the time when he comes back. So, I mean, isn't what they say in the Christian church? Don't put off to tomorrow what you can do today. Make a decision. I'm not eating pork no more. It's that simple. One day at a time, one step in front of the other. You at work. Oh, man, we're celebrating Jimmy Ball's birthday today. We got cake, beer, and ice cream. We're going to take everybody happy hour. I got some reports I got to do. It's one day at a time. Scripture says the evil is sufficient enough for the day. Don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow's not promised. But you do have this evening. You have right now. I tell people all the time, I blow their mind. Right now, your house don't exist. Your wife, your child here, so he exists. But nothing exists right now. All you have is this moment. Your job don't exist. But your mind be there. Let your mind be on things that are current and things that are eternal, things that don't rot away. All we got is right now, decisions that we have. Noah made the right decisions in the moments, in the time, and for that, not just him, but 8 souls were spared. There's no greater thing that you can do according to Christ but to lay down your life for your brother. I do this every day, every week, not for me, but for young man Ryan. You know what I'm saying? My pop in here today. You know what I'm saying? My brother, my best friend, 2 of my oldest friends that I grew up with is in the truth. That's what I do it for. I do it for my friends that tell me, man, I know I don't say it enough, but I see what you're doing. You don't know who's watching you. You know what I'm saying? That's why Christ did it. Christ told the disciples, you believe because you see, but greater is the reward for them that see not, but believe. All I'm asking you to is to believe. I mean, because this is the thing that you got to ask yourself, right? So according to Christian doctrine, Romans 10:9, if I confess with my mouth and believe in my heart that God raised Jesus from the dead, I'm saved through faith, right? So it don't matter if I keep the dietary law. It don't matter if I keep the high holidays. I believe in Christ. So according to your doctrine, I'm saved. But I'm right. You're wrong. I have life on it. Are you? That's what we're talking about right now. And the reason why we go so hard day after day, week after week, is for you. It's not because we hate you, because we love you. If we didn't like you or love you, smoke all the weed you want. Buy your next ticket to your crawfish broil. In fact, I'll support your cause that you're raising the money for. Birthday party. I'm there. You know what I'm saying? But we separate ourselves because we are Kodash in the Hebrew, holy, which means to be separate, set apart. Those that go into the kingdom will be set apart from everybody. So those are to do the things that are not the things that are most likely and susceptible to the masses. All right. With that, this is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West, 125th Street, under Commander in YAHANNA. We're going to say Amajium, which means to stand. We're going to say Sar. Sar means to turn. We're going to turn and face the east, which is this direction. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer first in Hebrew, then in English. So repeat after me. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malak with Ka, Taba'ah, Ratazayaka, Hayah, Aisha, Barataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathalanawa, Lakam, Call, Yawam, Wasalak Nawa, Kabawak Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kabawak Yanawa, Wala'ah, Tabayai Nawa, Banasaya 1, Abal, Hawashai Nawa, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wahala, Wahata Para, La'awalamyam, Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Sar, which means to turn. We're going to face the front. We'll give a courtesy salute to the brothers, then to the sisters. Men of Israel, Mighty Shabbat, Maju, Rock, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Brakatah, Yadamatah, Sar. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the sisters, Men of Israel, Mighty Shabbat, Maju, Rock, Yahweh Shemar Thabah Shem Yahushua. Yadamatah, dismiss.